Hi guys, this morning I'm going to show you how to do a ball, circle, crocheting in the round. And for this is the finished one. For this you're going to actually need your crochet hook, which matches your yarn size. You're going to need your little stitch marker. You can use a paper clip or you can use a piece of different coloured yarn. You're going to need a darning needle for afterwards. You're going to have your reliable scissors, and you're going to need stuffing to stuff the actual ball. Now this ball can actually be used for the head of a teddy bear, and you can use it as the body of the teddy bear if the body of the teddy bear would be slightly smaller. So we're going to start off with a magic ring. So the magic ring, I hold, this is the way I do it, I hold my hand here, I wrap the magic ring around my hand, I crisscross it, hold it gently there, and then I catch it just ever so slightly with my little finger. I turn my hook side down, place the hook underneath the first one, grab the yarn, the second one. As you're bringing it down, turn it towards you, and then go back under the piece of yarn that's at the back. And then I turn my hand slightly to allow me to bring my hook through. Okay, so then what I like to do is get my hand in place. You are going to work around the double yarn here. If you don't, you won't be able to pull the string afterwards to close it. If you find it's a bit complicated or the other little piece of yarn is too long, just twirl it around. Now I have a tendency that I hold up here both sides, so I have control. So for this, I'm not going to do the double crochet or the single crochet in American terms like I normally do. I want it to have a neater finish, and it actually looks better if you do it for animals. So what I'm going to do is I put the hook underneath the two pieces of yarn. I grab the yarn underneath instead of over. So I grab the yarn underneath, I bring it through, yarn over, and I bring it through the two. So that's the first, that's the first one. So that's hook under, grab the yarn from underneath, bring it through, yarn over, and bring it through. So that's 1, 2. So we have to do a sum total of 6. So as I'm doing them, you can see I'm moving my thumb up so I have more control. So I'm grabbing the yarn underneath, move my thumb to hold it in place, because otherwise it just twirls around. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last one, and that's number 6. Now we're not going to do a slip stitch on every round. We're actually going to work all the way around in rounds. So now I'm going to get my small piece of yarn, I'm going to pull it closed, pull it tight, leave that on the bottom. So you count backwards. When I'm counting backwards, I count from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gosh, I can't see this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we go. Here we go, in here. Now, if you think you're going to have an issue trying to get the hook through this way, I use the back of the hook, you know, the little piece at the top. I use that, and I go through the first one, and then I go through the second one. Because sometimes with this, you have to pull it tight. Now, I'm not going to do anything with the tail until I have the next round done. So in this round, we're going to do 2 single crochets, American terms, or 2 double crochets, UK terms. So we're going to crochet the same. So we're going to put our hook through. We're going to grab the yarn from underneath, bring it through, yarn over, and bring it through too. Now when we have finished this one, this is when we're going to put our stitch marker in. So this is going to be your very first stitch of every round from now on. So into the same stitch, because this is our increase round, we are going to do 2 double crochets or 2 single crochets. So at the end of this round, we should have 12. So that's 2 in each, stitch. And every round it's actually just going to go up by 6. Oh, I didn't do it there, did I? Yeah, here we are. Now for the beginning, if you're not used to it, after every round, just go back and count. It only takes a few seconds just to make sure, because there's nothing worse than actually flying along and then you realise on the third or the fourth round, oh my God, I don't have enough stitches. I haven't got enough on it. So I always pulled my hook up a little bit. So count from the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12th one is in there. Perfect. So for the next round, I'm going to insert my hook into where my stitch marker is. I'm going to do 1 single crochet or 1 double crochet. I'm going to remove my stitch marker and I'm going to put it into this place. Now when I have done, what I like to do is move my hook a little bit to tighten it up. If you're only beginning, you can take the stitch marker out first and then put it, once you have the stitch done, then replace it. So on this round, it's going to be one double crochet or 1 single crochet. In the next one, it's going to be an increase. So you're going to do the same. 1, 2. You're going to have 1 in the next one. Then you're going to increase in the next one. And you're going to repeat this all the way around. 1, increase, 1, increase, 1, increase, 1, oops, increase. Now we should have 18. I'll just do another count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 in the first one. Now, while I'm here, actually, I'll turn my work over. I grab the short tail, pull it really, really tight. I put the tail and my finger down at the very bottom and I hold it in place. And then what I do is I get my yarn, wrap it around, but I hold, I don't know whether you can see this, I hold the very bottom piece so that it goes down as close as it can to the very end. And I do that a few times underneath that. So you have your first little one done, so then the next ones, I do it about 3 or 4 times. The next ones, you can, when you hold it, it'll go under the first little knot that you've done. So it actually stops it from ripping. And sometimes when you do that, you don't have to actually sew it in. Okay, so the next round is you're going to have your single crochet or double crochet in the first one. Remove your stitch marker, or you might have removed it already. Replace it after you have the stitch done. If you haven't, just give it a little tighten there. So you're going to do 1 double crochet or 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then in the third stitch, you're going to increase. So it's going to be 1, 1, increase. And you repeat that around. 1, 1, increase. 1, 1, increase. 1, 1, increase. Get rid of yarn. 1, 1, increase. Now just a little tip for you. If you start off your crochet and you have your stitch marker in the first one and you're doing your 1 and your 1 and your increase, or your 1 and your increase, when you come to your last stitch, it should always be an increase. If for some reason you don't have an increase, it means you've made a mistake on the round, or you have maybe just put 1 stitch in 1 instead of 2. So we're going to go back now. So we have 6, 12, 18, 24 in this round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then the stitch marker is 24. So the next round it will be, I'll take the stitch marker out for this one just to show you what, if you were a beginner, what you can do. Just do your first stitch, replace your stitch marker. The reason why I don't is sometimes I forget to put the stitch marker back in, so I always do the stitch crochet in the stitch marker first. So this one, it's going to be 1, 1 in the next one, and 1 in the third one, and then in the fourth one we're going to have an increase. So that's 1, 2 in the fourth one. So that's 1, 1, 1, increase. Or if you get confused, sometimes what I do is I go A, B, C, and then 1, 2. Because if you get distracted like me, sometimes 1, A, B, C, and then 1, 2. So you can go A, B, C, 1, 2, A, B, C, 1, 2. Now I'm not going to do this very big. I'm not going to do it a bigger one. I'm going to leave it at this. I'll finish off this one. If you wanted to continue on, what you would do for the next round is you would do 4 singles, like 4 single crochets or 4 double crochets in 4 stitches, and then in the 5th one you would do your increase, and every row it just goes up by 1. So on this row, let me see, we should have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and then we have 30 in our stitch marker. Now, what I like to do as a rule when I get as far as here, I count how many rows I have. So you can see the stitch markers here. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 rows here. So as a rule, I might do 5 rows of just going around in a circle and then decrease. But it's totally up to yourself. Some people do 3 rows, some people do 4 rows. So we're going to replace our stitch marker. Now in the next, depending on how many rounds you want to do, you're just going to do a single crochet or a double crochet in each stitch all the way around for a set amount of rows. You might have a face, or you might want it to be more oblong, or if you wanted to do a B, you would just keep going, doing this round for maybe 10 rounds to give you the longer body. I'll just, for this video here, I'll just do 3 rounds. So this is our first one, going all the way around, just doing 1 single crochet or 1 double crochet in each stitch. Now I did do it a few times using the other method of a single crochet that I do use, and I found that it wasn't actually as neat. It was more holy. You could see your stuffing through it. So I decided to try this one out, and I find it's actually much better, especially if you want to do little animals or little toys, which I'm doing a lot of lately. So this is round 2. I've moved my stitch marker. It's just for every round, so you'll know when you want to count back your rows. You'll know your count just before your stitch marker. So you can see it's starting to curl up now for me because I'm just going around, I'm not increasing. So we just continue on doing this. And I say if you wanted to do a proper ball, you probably would do 4 rounds. As you can see with this one, it's slightly flatter. It's not a round. You would do obviously more rounds if you wanted it to be a real ball. Even if you just do those on their own, they're great for kids if they're in the house and they want to play ball and it's just a really bad day or they're bored, because it won't damage anything. It won't hurt them, and you can actually use them as well as a stress ball. I've crocheted them for my dad because sometimes his finger gets locked, so he has to open it, he gets cramps in his hand. So I've made a few of these and he actually squeezes them and it helps with his mobility in his hand. They're also great for stress balls, and you can do them as big or as small as you want. Now I'm going to have to see, I lost my concentration there, so I'm going to have to count how many rows back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just do one more. So I'll place my stitch marker. Yeah, so whatever size yarn you have, and whatever thickness your yarn is, look at the band on your yarn and it'll actually tell you what hook size to use. I am using Paint Box yarns at the moment, and it's the chunky one, so it's 5 hook, so that's what I'm using. Now if you're a very loose crocheter, I would advise you to go down a hook size. If you're very tight, either stick with the 5 or go up half size, because sometimes the tighter it is, you won't see your stuffing through. But definitely don't have it loose, because loose is not what you want. Okay, so this is the last round I'm going to do of this, and then I'm going to start decreasing. I just want to show you how to decrease, invisible decrease, as opposed to the normal way. I find it's much easier and it's much nicer. Okay, so we did on the last round, we did our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we did on the last round, we did 3 single crochets or 3 double crochets, and then we 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 0, 6, 12, 8. Okay, so we are going to do our 3 double crochets. So we're going to go 1, put our stitch marker back, pull it a little bit tight there, 1, 2, 3. Now what I'm going to do is I use this part, the tip of my crochet hook. So I grab underneath the first stitch, just the front part, and underneath the second one. I grab my yarn, I bring it through both of them, pull it a little bit tight, and then do your single crochet or your double crochet into that. So you go 1, 2, 3, turn your hook, grab the front of the next stitch, yarn over, bring it through the first one and bring it through the second one, yarn over and complete your stitch. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, yarn underneath the first of the, you can see the second part of the back loop is there. Bring your yarn through both of them and yarn over. So that's 1, 2, 3, yarn under the front loop of both of them, bring it through and finish off your double or your single crochet. 1, 2, 3, yarn just the front loops only, bring your hook through both of them, finish it off. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the front loops only of both these stitches, up, yarn and bring it through both of them, and then bring it through and finish. So that's the first. You can see where it's actually starting to curl. You can put your little tail in there. Now we're going to do the next one. So it's going to be 2. So I'll just take that out first and put it back in. Give it a little bit of a shimmy there to tighten it. So that's 1, 2, and then we're going to do front loops only. Grab the first 2, yarn and bring it through both of them, yarn over and finish off your stitch. Okay, 1, 2, yarn, just front loops only, grab your yarn over, bring it through, finish off your stitch. 1, 2. Sometimes what I do is I fold it, so you can see it like that. I fold it, now not obviously directly beside each other, otherwise you might go through both. And sometimes I've better control when I'm doing this part. 1, 2, grab your yarn, bring it through both of them and finish off. So 1, 2, hook in the front loop only, bring it through, finish it off. And just move it around as you're going. 1, 2, front, hook, bring it through. 1, 2, hook both, bring it through. So that's the 2. So you can see now it's actually getting smaller. So we'll go down to just the 1. Some people actually stuff here. I don't, because they do say the best way to stuff a head is to actually start stuffing as you're going. Sometimes I find you get more clumps in it. They do advise you to actually try and put all the stuffing in at one go. So 1 and then a decrease. So you go into the front loops, finish off. 1 and decrease. 1 and your decrease. 1, oops, and your decrease. It's actually very easy to grab the second one, but don't stress about it. You just go back. If you do, just go back and with your stitch, your hook, rip it and start again. As I've always said before, crochet is much easier than knitting, because if you make a mistake, it's really only one stitch. You're not going back a whole load. Okay, so now we're down to this stage. You can see that the opening is very small. So I'm going to get some of this stuffing. This is not my normal stuffing. This just came in a pack for another project that I had to do. So you just, ooh, there's something in that. Gosh. Just be careful. What I normally use, and I find it's absolutely brilliant, is the stuffing out of a pillow. I buy the pillow and I use it. I get the one that it's hypoallergenic, and it's antibacterial as well. Some of these ones I don't like because sometimes you can find plastics in them, like this bit of fibre here. What I just pulled out, I'll just show you. Look, I just pulled it out. That's actually quite, and that was in a kid's pack. And this was also in it as well, so you can see what they were using, and it's not very good. But just for this video, I'm just going to show you what you're going to do. Stuff your little head. Now you can firm it up much more if you want. I don't. If it's a head that I'm doing for a teddy bear or something, I probably would put a bit more stuffing in it. But if it's for a squeezy ball or for, you know, to throw around, or a stress ball, I wouldn't put too much into it. So for this round, I'm going to take my stitch marker out actually. I am going to do a decrease in every stitch. So I'm going to go 1, bring it through. Okay, So now I'm going to put my stitch marker back in. All right, so that's one. Oops, didn't get that one there. Sorry, didn't get that one there, that one. 2. 3. Give it a little bit of a tug if you think it's going to be too loose. 3. That's cut. 4. The last one, I always find the last one is actually, this one is probably a little bit more difficult because you need to pull it as you're going along. It's 5. And then this is 6. When you do it, okay, now I'm going to get my scissors. I'm going to leave about this much of a tail. Alright, get rid of that. I always, this time I'm not going to do my 2 chain and pull it through, but I'm just going to use my crochet hook to pull it through. I'm going to get rid of my stitch marker. I'm going to get my trusty darning needle. Now when I'm going to thread my darning needle, I always fold my yarn in half. And the reason for this is it's easier. If you try and go here, might get one piece, you mightn't get it all, and it'll only stress you out. There's no need for stress. So I turn it over, pinch it in half, right up at the very top, and I wiggle it until both sides are through, and it's not as stressful. So from here you can see, if you hold it this way, you can see that's the stitch that you worked into. So you're going to go into the front of the next, of all the next stitches, just the front loop only. So what I do is I hold my yarn when I'm finished so I can see my next stitch. So you're going to do 6 until you get back to where you were. All right, and then you're going to pull it tight to close it. Now I go into here. I don't go in there, I go underneath, and then what I do is I come out here and I look for the way the stitch is going, so I can actually insert my hook or my needle, so I have a nicer finish going around the ball, making sure that the stitch is the same, the yarn is going the same way, because there is nothing worse than it actually going the wrong way. And then pull it back through here, hold it flat, hold there because you don't want to squash your ball. And you can see that all the yarn is all in, and the stitch, it's a lovely stitch. Now obviously if, say that was the teddy bear, the bottom of the teddy bear, it'll always be 1 or 2 rows smaller than the head, and the head will go on. The head of a teddy bear is always bigger, so that would be the top one and that would be the bottom. So when you're sewing the top to the bottom, you would go the two joins together, and you'd come in about to the second row, so all the way around. You'd add your teddy bear little hands here and here, and the feet underneath. Now the feet would go, this is your center point, so you'd go out from the feet, go 1, 2, 3. So you'd do along here, and you'd leave about 2 or 3 stitches across, and then you would do the next one. So I'd pin them into place first, each leg, just to make sure. But that's basically how you would do your little ball. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, I'd love you to subscribe or share, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.